Okay, so our next flywheel is a table saw wheel or circular saw wheel, like this one. And we put that on here, and I put some black rubber electric tape around the teeth, so obviously that's not dangerous anymore. It is a 5/8 inch hole, which is epoxied in there with a nail. Now it's epoxied to the nail. That's really what keeps that in place. Okay. And on the bottom of the dowel here, I have a section tube of copper, which is cut and quartered, hose clamped, with a reload of cedar. Alright, and this is a 5/8 oak dowel from the hardware store. Now, as you'll see, this pressure bar brace just skims the surface of the flywheel. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep our hands to the outside. This is already mated. So we're doing cedar on pine. But our variable here is the flywheel, which is the saw blade. It's going very well. It's smoking. The notch is filling. I think we have a coal already. Well, it's probably a little one. Yep, it's there. Let it grow, let it glow. Back up our reloading base, and there's our smoking coal. All right, next one. Alright, so remember I told you about my friend Anthony Filari, and he had made a flywheel that was actually made out of two branches that held stones in between, okay, for his centrifugal force. Now I made something similar. These are two things of bamboo on here, on this 3/8 inch dowel. And the bottom one is secured with a nail, you know, like through the dowel and epoxy to the nail. But the top one is kind of free floating. So there's two things I could do with this. I could put weights, more weights inside if I want to, tie it down, or I could make it more round if I want to, which is what I'm going to do in this instance. Okay. Now our pressure bar brace is a tube of bamboo, okay, with a hole in it. On here. Now the reloading base is already mated, so with some artificial sinew or wax nylon, I placed some sections of bamboo to create a reloading socket hole, and in there hose clamped is a reload of yucca. All right. So bamboo pressure bar brace, bamboo flywheels, bamboo reload socket, yucca reload on pine, reloading base. So it's very warmed up now, it's really smoking. We're just letting the notch fill. Always be careful about getting your face too close to these things. You might knock yourself out. And we got our coal, definitely. There we go. Unclamp our base. Show off our coal, take away our reloading base, and there you go. All right, on to the next one. All right, so our next one is a real dinosaur. Look at this thing. Now, this was a chopping block or cutting block used for food that I found in an Asian food store. So this is literally one solid section of tree. You can see the growth rings on it. And it's placed on a 1-inch dowel of wood, and this thing is really heavy. It has a lot of mass. So what I put on the bottom at the dowel is another bamboo section which holds in a cedar reload, which is hose clamped in. But this thing's really heavy. And again, I have that notch that's over to the side. So the cord inserts from the side and sits inside. So we're going to string that, put our pressure bar brace on, and the cord goes in the slot. Even out your pressure bar brace, get it wound. Now it's already made it to the reload. So cedar on pine again. But look at this dinosaur. Look how heavy it is. So centrifugal force is not an issue, but speed definitely is. I mean, you're not going to go faster than this. You really can't. And to make matters a little more complicated, the mass is a little off. Okay, so you can see it's a little wobbly. So it's not centered on the axis. It's kind of like when your washing machine is in its spin cycle and there's too many clothes on one side of the spin cycle and your washing machine starts to bounce and move around a little bit. Sounds like it's going to die. Alright, so we're getting this warmed up. It's starting to smoke. But we really have to take our time and let the mass and the back and forth motion do the work for you. Okay? Don't expend a lot of energy. You just have to be patient. Really. Just be patient. So our notch is starting to fill. It is smoking. The color of the dust looks a little light though, I noticed. Now I can't see the other side of the notch because it's facing you, so I need to have a look. And we have a coal already. And it kind of surprised me because the dust looks really light. But there it is, it's starting to turn black. It's smoking. And now it's got plenty of air and it's going to take off. And there it goes. It's glowing. Alright, a couple more. Let's keep going. Alright, so you may recall earlier I had shown this spindle of bamboo for demonstrating with the crutch drill that it'll bend with the unilateral force, and that's not going to be good because you have this pressure going sideways each time, and the bending of the spindle is not good for that. You need something more stable, more stout. But this same piece of bamboo, if you apply it to the pump drill, because it is now a bilateral force instead of a unilateral force bending it in the middle, the bilateral force equally spins the spindle. So this is just a tube of bamboo. So there's nothing else on it. It's a little split on the bottom to receive a reload of yucca. Okay, so that'll fit in there, and you can see that that's splitting to receive that. Okay, and here's what we're going to do. I made this flywheel of a piece of 2x4. Okay, it's about 3/4 of an inch diameter hole in there, and the flywheel is going to act as a hose clamp. So I'm not going to put a hose clamp on this reload. I'm going to fit the flywheel all the way down because it's measured to that size, and I'm going to wedge that in there. So now the flywheel is holding the reload in place. It's cinched down around the reload. And we're going to put on our bamboo pressure bar brace. Here's our pine reloading base. And I'm filling the notch a little bit with some dust that's already there. And get this warmed up and see how it works. This is it's 5 inches on each side for the flywheel. So it's a 10-inch long flywheel. Even though that's not equally, well, it is equally balanced with the mass. It's a good size. So just get this warmed up. Try not to put too much pressure on it. It is a low density reload. Now the flywheel may come loose a little bit because it is only wedged in there. Now I can't see it because it's on the other side, so I'm going to stop for a second. And there's our coal. So flywheel creates the friction to hold the reload in. Put the reload in, pop the flywheel down, and there you go. That's wedged in there. Nice size coal there. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, so you may recall our soapstone flywheel from earlier that was misdrilled, and the plane was off, so it wasn't perfectly horizontal. But the other thing too was the mass was off. So what I did was I drilled the spindle out completely because it was epoxied in there. Here I have a 3/4 inch hole through this, and we're going to do it in the wedge method. So on my lathe, I created a tapering spindle out of walnut. Actually, this was a piece of firewood. And so it's thinner at the top, and it gets a little thicker at the bottom. So it's tapering. It's hard to see, but it's there. So the soapstone will fit down and get down to the bottom and wedge in there. So now the problem with soapstone is, if you can understand its name, the dust that's made, it's like a talc whenever you're carving this, and it's very slippery. So the thing about soapstone is that it has, in a way, its own lubricating factor in it. So when you use soapstone on a piece of hardwood like this, it could actually not grip as well and spin around. So that could be a problem with soapstone that you may encounter with some woods. So what I'm going to do with this is take a little sliver of walnut that I have, and I'm going to pry that in the side of the soapstone and see if that doesn't help it wedge in there a little bit. Okay. And we're gonna go underneath. Experiencing technical difficulties. There we go. We're going to wedge that down. Careful not to break your soapstone. Soapstone comes with a lot of fissures. Depending on the quality of the soapstone you have, it may actually just fracture on you. So you have to be very careful. So let's get this warmed up and see if the friction lasts. Now the mass for something this size may seem a little imbalanced. It's actually very light. So we may go with a little bit of speed. Help get this warmed up. Now you hear all that squeaking? Sounds like there's a bit of oil in there or something. You can tell by the sound, we're not getting the friction that we want. It's really just glazing. You still hear it. Hear that? Oh, I think we're breaking through it. I think the soapstone is spinning. Okay. Careful not to break the stone. My board is moving. Keep things in balance. Run into complications, just fix them. I can see that it's smoking. And we got our coal. So wedged in soapstone on a tapering walnut spindle, yucca reload, bamboo pressure bar brace, pine reload, and there you go. let's keep going. Well, as you know, I do martial arts. This is called a shinai. A shinai is used in kendo as a martial arts. And one of the things that I'm working on next is I have a few shinai, so I'm not going to miss any. I took one of them apart, and I'm going to be making a pump drill out of a shinai. Oh, by the way, too, these sections of shinai, you could use them for bows, for the bow drill or Egyptian drill, because they're fairly thick and solid. If you can't get bamboo elsewhere, some thick bamboo, if you order a shinai, you're going to get some nice long sections of these. Some parts are flexible for like a bow, and some parts are more stout for Egyptian drill bow, which won't bend if you're looking for bamboo. You know how much I hate bamboo. Alright? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that my shinai pump drill can work. What's really nice about the bottom here, the base end, is that it's already naturally quartered. It's 4 splints of bamboo put together, so there's 4 quarters already, and I just hold the reload in with a hose clamp. The reload is yucca, by the way, and our reloading base is obviously pine. Okay. This is a 2x4 pressure bar brace, by the way. So this is not really mated together, so I'm going to have to do a few warm-ups with it. It's kind of mated with a notch, but the reload isn't mated with the base reload. Right. Careful not to knock myself out with this thing. Right. Not only that, I got to stand on my stool to do this. Alright. Let's give this a few warm-up. Now, this thing is so big that speed you really can't do with this. You really have to be the turtle and not the hare in trying to get this done. So, be really patient to make this work. Now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to rely on the weight of the pump drill alone, not add more pressure. And if I lighten it up, I'll try and make it a little faster for the yucca. I mean, it is a low density reload. And I see that it's smoking and the notch is filling. Oh. Let's have a look. Oh, and we got a coal. Well, that thing is huge. And there we go. There's our coal. All right, let's keep going. Part of the variation. Alright, so you're really going to like this next one. Now this one was inspired by those things people will hang outside. They're like rainbow colored and they're in a spiral pattern and they blow in the wind and they turn. Well, here's one that I made, and it's made out of bamboo. So I took some bamboo sections and I piled them on top of each other and I balanced the weight. Okay, so that it's equal on all sides. Of course it had to be bamboo, because that's my favorite. And it's on this 3/8 inch wooden dowel, which has again, a copper socket for the reload, which is hose clamped to the dowel. But the yucca reload is just wedged in there. And as you can see, it's cut and quartered. I'm too busy looking at it and not looking at the camera. So we have another pressure bar brace, and this one is rattan. It's a section of rattan, which has a hole drilled in the middle for the spindle, and holes are cut for the cord, which go through both sides. Okay. And this one is specifically measured for this one drill in particular. standard knock on top. It's already mated to this reload base. And I have to say, it's fairly smooth. I'm kind of proud of myself for this one. So we're getting the yucca warmed up. It's starting to smoke. And I think we have a coal already, because it is yucca. Yep, we're all set. Let's show that one off. So that one's a real demonstration piece to show off the balancing of the principles. Now that is really art of the variation. Something like that. Alright, last one. Let's do this. Alright, so my last one I'm kind of happy about. It's kind of special. Now, as a kid in grade school, I can remember someone teaching us how to make what's called a God's eye. And you take a cross frame and you start winding colored string around it, and you make a design, and it's called a God's eye. And I thought, I'll bet I can make a flywheel out of something like that. Well, I grabbed some colored rope and I did just that. So I made a God's eye out of this one. Now the frame that the rope is on is tent pole fiberglass rods. So I got some little bit of blue, a little bit of purple, a little bit of green. That makes up the God's eye. Now here's the bottom, which doesn't look as good as the top, obviously. And I have a bamboo tube for a reload socket, which holds in a yucca reload on this 3/8 inch, I think it's 3/8 inch, 7/8, no, 3/4 inch. This is a 3/4 inch dowel. Standard knock on top. Now you need a lot of clearance for this. See these pieces on the side? You need to really stand back so you don't get hit with this thing. It's got a pretty wide width. It's already mated to the reload. Oh, I jumped out right out of the knock. Let's get some centrifugal force going on this last one. it's very hard for me to see the notch on the other side. I could sort of see through the rope, but it's not very clear. I can see that it's smoking. Remember not to get your face too close to this thing. This one has a lot of mass, so it's not going to go fast, but it has a lot of centrifugal force. It's got good momentum. Just have to be patient and take your time. Oh, we got a good coal there going. In fact, the God's Eye is making such a wind that it lit up the coal. It's glowing already. Take off our reload. There's our smoking coal on our reloading base frame. And we're ready to move on to epimethei segment of the pump drill. And next is toggle drill. Yay. Alright. Alright, so we're in our epimethei section of the pump drill, and so we're going to focus a little bit on teaching kids. So let's see, where do we start? First thing we're always going to make sure is that your set is stable and it's safe for them. Okay, let's put on our pressure bar brace. Safety is always the most important thing. You can see that that's a little high. Make sure that when they're doing the technique that they're not holding their breath, that they are breathing normally. So Jake, I'm going to have you stand up here because this is too high for you. Lean up against this back so you have balance. Are you balanced?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, what else? Children, kids have a short attention span. So one of the things you have to keep reminding them to do is to keep going and to not stop. You keep going until you're done. And sometimes that's hard to do for them. They feel that they want to have a look, or they feel they might be done, or they're a little tired, but you really have to keep them focused and have them just keep going. So you have to say, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And it's up to you to be patient with them. You have to show a lot of patience. If you're going to teach them, you have to be the teacher that you would have wanted to have, as I always say. So patience is a key thing with kids. Warn the kids that they need to be patient as well. Even though they have a short attention span, you have to tell them that they have to stay focused, and staying focused throughout their life is going to be an important skill. You may even want to have a little clock in front of them to tell them that this might even take a few minutes to do, and that they can't stop until such and such time is up, or they have a cold. Okay? That would be a fair thing to do if you're really trying to get them to focus. Alright, ready? You know what, don't go like this. Keep it straight. If you do this, you're gonna tighten it up against the bar. Okay, don't pull up. Don't pull it up. Push down. Only push down. Okay, can you go faster? Oops. Let's try again.
Does that happen sometimes?
Okay, go. Okay. This is what you teach them when they're learning how to do it. Don't pull up. Don't pull up. It pulls up on its own. Keep the pressure down.
Oops.
Don't pull up on the bar. Ready, go. Faster. Keep the rhythm. Push down, push down. Okay, it's smoking. Now all you have to do is just not stop, okay? Just keep going. Pressing too hard.
Oh.
Okay. Feel this. No, put your hands on. Put your hands on. No, you're pulling on. Don't let it pop out.
Oops.
Don't let it pop out. Push down. Okay, go. Don't let it pop out. Push down.
Oops.
See, you're letting it pop out. You gotta push down. Okay,
Oh,
go. So you're letting it up. Push it down. Okay. Pump, 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 pump. It's a little bit that way. Okay, go. Faster. Faster. Okay, smoking. And just don't stop. Just relax. Keep going. Relax. Keep going. Push down. Down. Faster. Don't pull up. Okay. It's filling up nice. Keep going. Keep going.
Whoops.
Keep going.
Whoops.
Keep going. Keep going. Don't let it cool down. That's it. That's it. Keep going. Don't let it pop out. 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 Keep going. Don't let it pop. Okay, wait. It's fine. Okay, don't let it pop out. You're letting it pop out. Just keep going. Go, 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 go. Remember that you, the teacher, the sensei, must balance everything out for them. Okay, it's not up to them to balance everything out if you're trying to show them this. They can't make this, they can't put it together, they don't understand the structure and function, they don't understand the variables that they need to balance. That's up to you. Your focus is to really get them interested and show that it can be done with a few successes, but you are the one responsible for balancing everything out. Just keep that in mind. It's your responsibility, not theirs. Have the set pre-mated for them. Okay, our pine reloading base is mated, has a notch. It's mated to the reload, which is yucca, already. Okay, so there isn't going to be much friction to start off with, bad friction. Because as you know, when you get this thing started, it stalls until you get good centrifugal force going. All right. What else? If they're going to do a practice, if he's doing it with friends, things like that, you may want to practice before you're actually doing the demo. Okay, and to make sure that you actually get that done. So we're going to pre-fill the notch. That's one of the things that you probably want to balance. Okay. Now this is going to reduce their time. They have a short attention span, and they have less energy than we do. So we're going to fill that notch pretty high so that it takes them less time. And they don't have to work as hard to fill the notch. Remember, you're responsible for balancing everything out. That's all right, Jake. Use low density woods. We have a yucca. We have a fairly low medium density base. We have the pine. So again, you're the one responsible for balancing everything out. I know this set has very good centrifugal force with this spoke pulley wheel, flywheel. I know that this is a good set. It's a 1/2 inch diameter reload. So that's a good balanced diameter for someone his size with something that low density. I don't think I need to get rid of the dead space center. I think we should be able to handle it okay. This is a unipolar method, okay? So they may drift off to the side. So you have to kind of keep them on track with that, because what will happen is they'll drift right into the notch. And as we've seen countless times, what happens when you drift into the notch, it destroys everything and for nothing. So you're responsible too for watching them, that they're keeping this set straight. Okay. You also have to make sure that they're not letting this thing kick out. So one of the things they like to do is they like to help the bar up. And you have to kind of remind them not to do that. So this thing goes down and they want to help it up again so that they can push it back down. Well, they have to let it rewind back up by itself with the centrifugal force, and then they need to capture it again. So this is a gross motor skill for them, but there's still a few things that they need to figure out on their own by doing. Okay, they got to find the integration, the rhythm, the coordination, the timing to kind of get this done. And if we have a little trick that enables this to stay unipolar, we use our pressure hand brace from the bow drill. And if you have this rounded off on top, we can keep the axis for them. Now, don't press down on this. You're not adding pressure. This is very important to remember. You are only trying to keep the axis straight. So this is really just a guide. Do not press down on the pump or you're going to stop it. Okay? You have to let the pump do the work on its own. You're just trying to keep it straight so that it's not drifting off in some other strange direction, which I'll show you in a second. Okay. And I think we're ready. Ready, Jake? We're going to give this a shot. Mm-hmm. So we got it wound up. Everything should be ready to go. Remember, don't stop. Don't help the bar up. Okay? And we're going to be patient, and we're going to do our best. I may do the bipolar method with you. And you're going to tilt that forward just a little bit more. Okay? Do you have balance? You have balance?
Yep.
Do you feel safe? Okay, I'm going to hold on to you anyway.
All right.
So you don't fall. Okay, tilt that forward a little bit because you're going to drift into the notch. Alright, you ready? Mm-hmm. Alright, let's give it a go. Yeah, you can do that too if you want. That's good. Yeah. Okay, that's alright. We're just getting started. Okay, don't put your hands inside. Okay, remember, let it do it on its own. Good, good. Get the rhythm. Keep your bar flat. That's it. Keep the bar flat. Don't let it kick up. Keep going. Good. And we're going to try our bipolar method. Okay, go. I'm not pressing down on it. Okay, now just go. Okay, go. Okay, you're stopping the rhythm. Don't mind me. Okay, go. That's it. Stay focused. That's it. Keep going. You go faster. Keep your rhythm. Okay, go. Keep going. We're almost there, Jake. Keep going. Okay, we're getting a little bit of stall here. Get the rhythm. Good. Get the rhythm. Don't stop. Keep going. Don't stop. You're stopping. Don't stop. Go. Stay focused. Focus. That's it. You got it. Okay, don't stop. Go, go, go. Go. It's gonna light up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Focus. Go, 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 go. Good, good. Keep going. Okay, Cole.
Huh?
You got your Cole.
Yes.
Alright. Okay. I'm gonna tap this out. Go. Keep the area safe. Try to reduce their any kind of smoking noise there. Okay, blow on. Okay, not too hard. He's got two coals actually. He's got one in front. He's got one here. And he's got one in the base. Alright, so he's got a success and he's gonna remember that throughout his life, right?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, very good. Alright. So that's the epimethei section. And we're going to be moving on to one of my favorites, the toggle drill.
Mine too.
And there you're going to see the best of all the worlds, which I'm going to go over. Okay, you're really going to like that one. Alright? Okay.